What is going on, YouTube? Happy Friday. Just want to get into something real quick. I want to expose a myth real quick because I think a lot of people have been misinformed. Now, what have you been misinformed about? I'm going to take it back to my college days where I had one professor that said this. He said, if I was to open a business, I would like to have about 5 or 6 businesses that I can start with maybe around $3,500 and under. Now, some of you may think that's not a business. When you start a business, you need to have the business license, the LLC, corporation, or sole proprietorship, which is fine, because that's true. You got to have that. You need to go to the bank. You need to borrow at least minimum $10,000 up to $1 million or more for a business. You need to have employees, staff. You have to have an office. You have to have your website. All of these other things. So when you start a business day one, you should be deeply in debt in order to have a professional business. I'm right here to tell you right now, you're dead wrong. You see, there was one time where I was saying, hey, my idea of a business was if I bought 10 houses that each brought in $1,000 a month, and I had those houses paid for, I could bring in $10,000 a month, rentals on a regular basis. And then I can just sit back, Mai Tais, the beach, whatever, relax. But here's the deal. You don't have to do that much in order to gain a lot. There are people right now who have businesses, and a lot of people don't believe this, and I'm going to put up a link to show you, that have businesses that they started with $500 to $1,000, and they've turned that investment of $500 to $1,000 in their hand into $100,000. This is why I say I can parachute out of a plane anywhere in the world that has an okay government. And when I say okay, I mean that I can at least make some money. Have the opportunity to make some money. Like North Korea may have some problems. And I can turn that money into $100,000 or more. But some people say, nah, you can't do it. But here's the rules though. It won't happen overnight. It won't take forever. All it would take for me is to study the demographic and who I'm dealing with. And then once I know an idea of who I'm dealing with, then I just find something that matches that demographic, that way of thinking. And I just make it happen. So let me give you an example. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think on eBay, the subject of power seller, these guys and gals who are known as power sellers on eBay, do you think on eBay there are stores where people make $100,000 or more a year? I can answer that question, yes. I'm going to put a link up of a guy that sells wallets and has made $100,000 or more a year. Now, these wallets probably only cost $2.50, $3. So no more can people say, oh, this guy's lying. This guy's like Amway or whatever. He's just making up all these numbers. I haven't had people argue with me. You can't do it. You can't. This is how I did it. Everyone asking me like, how did you come up with the money to get this? What kind of loan did you take? You don't need a loan. Americans, wake the freak up. You don't need a loan to start a business. You just need this, a little patience, and consistency. You need this, a little patience, and consistency. I'm going to say that one more time for those of you who didn't get it. You need this, a little patience, and consistency, and you will get where you need to go. Point blank. It's not rocket science. It's so addicting that a lot of times my wife and I have to catch ourselves from creating a business literally every 1 or 2 weeks. Because we sit down every day, since we haven't started our events and things of this nature, where we sit down and we're like, oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to do that. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to do that. Oh, what about this idea? We're always constantly looking for ideas. And just think about it. Making money in your sleep, relaxing. You only spent this amount. Your family didn't have to take a second mortgage out like some ignorant businessmen. No loans, nothing. You made your money back within, I don't know, a month? 2 months maybe? Not the business, I'm sure you guys have heard this statement. When you first start a business, the first 3 to 5 years is going to be failure. That's building your business. And then after that, you should see some profits. I don't know whoever taught you guys that advice, but whoever taught you that advice was ignorant. It doesn't take 3 to 5 years to build a business and start seeing profits. If you don't see a business, if a business doesn't see profits within the first month or two, you got the wrong business. Because here's the thing. If you start off like that small, and you turn $1,000 into $100,000, and then while you turn that to $100,000, you start something else and you turn it into $100,000, and you just keep doing this process. Then you take that $1 million that you've built up. Then you take, I'm going to take half of that and go open a McDonald's franchise. Then you take that and then you grow from there. That's how you do business. By having patience and starting small and moving from there up to the top. I'm going to stop right there. What do you think? Do you think I'm pulling your leg? Do you think I'm jiving you? What do you think? So, I'm going to leave you with that. This is your first time seeing the channel. Welcome. Please subscribe. We're glad to have you. Tell your friends about us. I'm getting ready to start a blog TV deal here pretty soon. I'm fixing my page. I've been studying the site, so I got some things coming. I'll let you guys know about that in the future. I'm also teaching my Etsy class. If you're interested in it, I'll be glad to have you. It's a very inexpensive class, but I will tell you this, and I say this with urgency. Whatever I tell you to do, you have to follow up and do the work. If you don't do the work, you don't get the reward. Simple as that. If you don't do the work, you will not get the reward. So, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend, powerful weekend. Let's keep learning. Let's keep building. And until the next time, signing off.